Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Okay, Shalom Aleichem, guys. We have a lot of guests today. Welcome to all the guests. You know what? We'll start with some of the guests. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Shmuel Weinstock.
Shmuel Weinstock. This is your son? Yaakov Weinstock. And you brought your father to the Daf?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Roughly.
For real? Rosh Shoshana, same thing. You don't have to do the Daf because you brought somebody in. That's it. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Mendior Shalom Aleichem from South Africa.
This is a riddle. When is the son a father?
When is the son of father?
When is the son a father?
What's your name, Joel Mizrahi? What's your name? From? Teaneck, New Jersey. How long are you with us? Like 4 or 5 years? 4 years. Givaldic. Who else do we have with us? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. You're not such a...
Mechi Wurzburger.
Mechi Wurzburger from Toronto, and that is? Young Wurzburger. Shalom Aleichem. Who else? Oh, these guys. What's your name? From Yerushalayim, right? What? I know, you drove in from Yerushalayim probably. I'm just guessing. On a bus? With a car. Ah, Givaldic. What's your names? Yosef and? Look, I have a son, Lizin. Givaldic. Okay. Who else do we have? Any other guests? No? Rocky Yishkoyach. By the way, Rocky, usually when it rains, even not when it rains, he waits for me outside in his car, drives me up the hill, misses his spots. That means he has to go all the way to who knows where to get his Yishkoyach Gadol. Hakar Satoiv.
He taught both of my kids in Detroit, 6th grade.
Amazing. Rocky, you're a Rebbe also?
He did everything.
What do I want to show you? I wanted to show you, this is Moirdik. The Rosh Hashiva, Reb Avi Wiesenfeld from Beis David. He brought the entire Beis David to Dubai. You saw this on the status? And here he is with Rabbi Dushinsky, a great friend of the Shir. Here we go.
Good evening, Rabbi Isai.
What's it called? The name of that tower over there? This is Naftali Zanzibar, right?
Zanzibar.
That's what I said, Zanzibar. I love this picture. Look at his hand is around the sun. And they're watching, the Olam over there is watching other stuff. He's watching Torah, and that's the shir I did in my house. A 27-minute shir that I ran and came, and I was out of breath, the whole thing. Rabbi and Rechasim, they get together every night, and they have I think they said a 60-inch screen. They said inch. Here it is, 6 guys get together, Be'ezer Hashem, coming to a city near you. This is from Eli Geller first, like the Hardy Mazel Tov, on the granddaughter. Secondly, truly appreciate the effort to travel USA. Moment the Simcha, as the Zchut being able to watch the Daf Yomi Shir live a couple of days in normal hour without having to go past my bedtime. Earlier this evening, as I was watching the Shir live, watching the dishes at home, I realized that you skipped the last word of the 13th line of Daf Memches Amud Aleph. The word you missed was Pshiti. I hope that counts. I just said it. I went back twice to watch and make sure that I'm correct. So, sometimes it skips out, sometimes not. No, this is just my daughter. She's in Utah. She doesn't chap that I'm giving shir now. There should be only continuous simchas and MDY Mishpacha for every year. Talmud Eli Geller, here he is doing dishes. Givaldic. Rabbi Isai. The Masechta is sponsored for Shelaima for Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama from his great family. The Masechta of Hatzlacha Baruch ובגשמיות, Masechta Ari Cohn, member of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, V'yetu started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. Shalom Aleichem to all the guys on Zoom. By Glenn Esterson. With love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina, thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Parnasa Chodesh, 5 of them. Lili Nishma Zchaya Ben Moshe, Lili Nishma Zchaya Bas Yosef. Zchut, Parnasa Birevach for Baruch, Tzvi, Nissim, Ben Shoshana Leah. With Akaris Atoiv from Anonymous. I have Akaris Atoiv to Anonymous for doing such a short one. Parnasa Chodesh, Shprintzy Alan Gross, Eli Nishmas, the yardsticks of our fathers. Shelaima Ben Yitzchak. This is a hint to Alan Gross. Shelaima Ben Yitzchak Isaac, Zchut Ben Yemen Isaac Ben Tzvi. Here, Shakoy Zchut Birevach and Refuah Shelaima to Yoenis and Eitan ben Batsheva Bracha. Leon Welcher for the speedy release of Arab and Hilla Esther Gittel. I think there's something going on today. I saw that they're going to talk about it today. Ari Rosenfeld, a from Jew and a participant of MDY, has been incarcerated in prison for too long. Coil of the Month, sponsored by HYK Ventures in honor for the success of all our clients. Amen. Parnasa Yom Gross. Refuah Shelaima Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim Risha and Lila Nishmas Shlomo Zalman Ben Yitzchak Isaac. This is one of the best ever. Parnasa Yom in honor of Akiva Solkowitz for rejoining the Daf. The amount of money MDY made because of Akiva Solkowitz dropping the Daf and rejoining is unbelievable. Thousands. Every 2 months he rejoins, and every 2 months we get another $180. So Yishkoyach Akiva, but I give you a bracha, this should be the last. You should keep on going. You all remember he came here, he was so excited. He did Megillah and Tainus, and he came and gave me this giant silver washing cup. Remember that?
Every time you join.
Does anybody, what?
Every time you join, you should bring another.
That's right, Akiva, every time you join, you have to bring another one. That'll be, he'll never join again, he'll never leave again. What's his thing? F94, I think, something like that. No? I don't even remember.
Yes, F94.
For real? F94? 100%. Art of the month was Zchut for rebellion. The whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah. You know how many times he goes on calls and they say, F94, when are you going to do the daf? You know, like, Art of the month in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Rabbi Sai. Here we are on the bottom of Nun Amud Beis, the last 2 words. Before I go any weiter, I have a really, if you weren't here last night, it's a good shayla. This is worth maybe 1,000 points at least. If a woman who's a daughter of a Cohn and she's married and she's mezana, what misa does she get? Strafe is not bad, but you're not going to get skila.
Married daughter of Bas Cohn?
Married daughter of Bas Cohn. Skila, I'll tell you why you're probably wrong. Because what's worse, an arusa or an asua? Arusa. One of them gets one misa, the other gets the lesser. Nesua is less, and skila is the worst misa. So probably you cannot be right.
Arusa is in the base of Via.
You might be right. I don't know. What?
Arusa is still in the base of Via, so it's a busha to her father.
Correct. So anybody want to answer? What does an asua Bas Cohn get? Huh? Chenek. Strafe or who says strafe or chenek?
Right?
Kitsi, you're wrong. You're all wrong. You're all wrong. Machloikis is not bad, but you're wrong. Yeah. Here, check this out. It's a 3-way machloikis, perhaps. 3-way machloikis. Strafe or skila chenek cannot be said. Okay. Nobody said that one, right? Now, we are smack in the middle of a brisa, and we're going to go word for word through the entire brisa. It's going to bring us deep into Amud Beis. We're not going to go through the first part of the brisa because, fortunately for us, every single word of the brisa is going to be repeated, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to have a lot of fun with the drushes today. Says the Gemara, Bas Cohn. Ein li ela shenises lekoyin. And I have to mention that we are, you're not going to believe this, but we are 50 daf into Masechet Sanhedrin. It seems like yesterday, but that's the beauty of Daf Yomi. Every day that goes by, we do another daf, and it adds up quickly. Ein li ela shenises lekoyin. So now the Gemara comes up with something interesting that the Gemara is even going to discuss. Mehechetesa. It says she's the daughter of a Kohen who's mizana and she gets sreifa. It doesn't say what kind of daughter. It doesn't say if she's engaged or she's married. It says the daughter of a Kohen, she gets sreifa. Now the Gemara says perhaps it's only if she is married to a Kohen. Where does it say that in the Torah? It doesn't say anything in the Torah like that. Let's see again. It says in the pasuk, "Ubas ish Kohen ki seichel iznois." Uh-oh. Here we have all these seats here, there. Here, how about that one? It's not bad. It's close enough. I won't look at the son. I'll look at because I look at him for cute. He like if it's a bad joke, if it's a good joke. No, you look at him. Now I'm looking at him. And he's like, give me like I don't know.
He can be critical.
No, but I need also the agreement. You know, I have to know where I'm going. Faster. Sometimes he goes like this. That means like faster. You know, yeah, he has the. Also, by the way, you're across from what's the name? You could keep him in. Yeah, today he's a little. Yeah. He slept too much.
Yeah, that sounds good. Today's my
Nisis. Oh, okay, no, okay. Nisis leLevi leYisrael leKusi leChol. Listen to this. It says Ubasish Cohn ki Seichel is nice. It doesn't say who she's married to. The Gemara says, I don't think she's married to a Kohen. Me'echedes, I don't know yet. But Nisis leLevi, top words of Nun Aleph Amud Aleph. Nisis leLevi leYisrael. Let's say she's married to a Levi or to Yisrael. LeKusi leChalal. A kusi, a chal. What's a chalal? So today we have a lot of chalalim, unfortunately. Let's say a kohen, a Baal Tshuva. He marries another Baal Tshuva. And the Baal Tshuva, let's say she, in her previous life, she was with a guy one time. That's it. Her children are chalalim, even though she's married to a kohen. I know people like that. Chalal. Mamzer, right? They go to shul. Good friend goes to shul. The father gets kohen. The son gets Yisrael. Chalal. She's not allowed to marry. This Bas Kohen, not allowed to marry a Chalal. Mamzer, she's not allowed to marry a Mamzer. No one is allowed to, Yisrael can't marry a Mamzer. Ulanasim. What are we talking about though? You're not allowed to marry these people. So we have to be talking about that we're going according to the Manda Omar. But there's a machlokes in Shas. But let's just assume that Kiddushin toifsim b'chayv ilavin. If this daughter of a Kohen took a ring from a Mamzer, it's a good Kiddushin. She's also to marry him, but the Kiddushin is chal. It's a good Kiddushin. Even according to Rebbe Kiva, says Rashi, that holds that typically Kiddushin are not toifas, but perhaps there's a mandama that says that in these cases, a mamzer and it is toifas, because he's only talking about with real arayas. You can't be Makadish a sister. That's not going to be toifas or whatever. Okay, but a mamzer nasan. What's a nasan? So the Gevinim, they came, they lied to Yeshua. They said that they're from a faraway country, and he made them. Then when he found out that the liars, so he made them all water carriers, wood choppers. But there's still an Isser, because from the Sheva Amim, there's an Isser like Zchut, and you're not allowed to marry them. And she went ahead and she received Kiddushin from them. Minayin, how do you know if she was Mizana? You hear? She received Kiddushin from a Mamzer. And then she went and she was Mizana. She gets Sreifa, because the Kiddushin of the Mamzer is a good Kiddushin. Minayin, how do I know? Tamaloymar ubas ish koyen. We go back to this pasuk. Oh, not this one. This. The word ish is an extra over here. It says she's the daughter of a kohen, but ish. What's important here is that she is the daughter of a kohen, not that she's married to a kohen. That's the point. Ubas ish kohen. We don't care about the husband as much as we care about her father. Avabi she'eno kohenes. Even though right now she lost her title, her yichus of kahuna, and the Gemara is going to explain why, because she married out of kahuna. Even if she married Yisrael, she's no longer Henes, let's say for truma. So Mela, the Torah says that she still gets sreifa. Says the Gemara, says the Brisa Vayter. He besreifa, vein boy alo besreifa, tremendous chidush. Well, she not really yet, but the chi of sreifa is only on the woman, on the daughter of the kohen, not on the noyef. Vein boy alo besreifa. He besreifa, vein zememel besreifa. That's a tremendous chidush. That although the Edom came and they lied and they said that she deserves to die with hot lead, they themselves don't get the hot lead. Even though every single time in the Torah you try to make somebody pay $200, you lie. You have to pay the $200. You try to get somebody to be, you said that he's Michal Shabbos, but he wasn't Michal Shabbos. You too, Edom, will get the skila that guy was supposed to get. In this case, even though they try to get her to get Sreifa, Basisim like Asher Zamam doesn't apply here, there's a reason. There's a mute in the Torah. And finally, Rabbi Isai, there is a riddle. Rabbi Lezer Oimer Esavia Besreifa, Beschamia Beskila. The father gets Sreifa, and the father-in-law gets Skila. What is going on here? It makes no sense. So one pshat would be, and the Gemara even goes away from that, one pshat is Esavia when she's in her father's domain, meaning she's engaged, right? Because an engaged girl stays in her father's house until she gets married. Once she gets married, she moves into her husband's house, which is usually by his own father's house. They have extra room over there. So as chamia, when she's by the father-in-law, meaning she's married, then she gets skila. When she's engaged, she gets sreifa. Okay, that could be one pshat. Omar Mar. Yachal, so that yesterday we had, now we're going through the brisa. Thing by thing. Yachal afilu chilul Shabbos. It says in the pasuk, okay, same, we'll just use the same slide. Uvazish koyin, ki seichel liznois, ki seichel is the lashon of chilul, so maybe it means even chilul Shabbos. Yes, the next word is liznois. So I'm thinking maybe even if she's mechal Shabbos, she should get sreifa. Chilul Shabbos, as the Gemara, baskilahi. Skila is worse than sreifa. According to Chacham, skila is the number one misa. So if the entire world gets skila for being mechal Shabbos, why in the world would I think for a second that the daughter of a kohen gets less than everybody else? If anything, she should get more. Why would we downgrade her from skila to sreifa? It's interesting because yesterday I sat over in the shir, a maisa shahaya that I was in a taxi, and the guy was schmoozing with me the entire time. And I just yesterday saw this, mamish, the same story, well, not the same story, but very similar, reminded me of the story where a guy came to the Rav and he said, I'm trying to keep Shabbos. I decided I'm not going to smoke. And I broke down after 2 hours. I started smoking. What should I do? It sounded the same thing, like this guy was in pain. Like, I want to keep Shabbos. I couldn't control myself. So the Rav told him, I'll take the Aver upon myself. So the guy's like, what? He says, yeah, but you have to give me the 2 hours of your struggle before you broke Shabbos and you struggle for 2 hours. I want those 2 hours. Now, I'm not saying that's la halacha. I don't know how Iskalt, and I don't know if it's a fair deal or not, but the idea I thought was very powerful. In other words, don't forget, don't look down on yourself. You broke Shabbos. Yeah, you broke Shabbos. But l'maisa, until you broke the Shabbos, you were struggling. Guy, he's a smoker and he wanted to smoke, and for 2 hours he's going back and forth, should I, and you didn't. Those 2 hours are very powerful. So, okay. Zokti Gemara, Omar Rava, Homani, Reb Shimoni. Oh. So, we asked the question, what's the havamina that the bas kohen should get sreifa if she's mechal Shabbos when sreifa is less than skila? The Gemara says because we go according to Reb Shimon that says no. Sreifa is more than skila. The whole world gets skila. We have to upgrade her, not downgrade her. We're going to upgrade her one more isser, one more misa to the worst, which is sreifa dom and sreifa chamura. Typically, we give kohanim more chumrah. Why? The Rabbi mitzvahs seris. They have more mitzvahs than all other yidden. Tidum is sreifa. Therefore, she should get the higher misa of sreifa. Kamash malon. And that's why the pasuk says, no, liznois. Only when it comes to znus, she gets the bigger sreifa, not when it comes to Chil Shabbos. As the Gemara, but it makes no sense. How is it possible a daughter could get a bigger misa than her own father? If her father's Machal Shabbos, he gets skila. And if the daughter, because she's the daughter of the Cohn, she gets the worst misa, which is sreifa, according to Reb Shimon. How's that possible? No, I still have a havamina. Maybe she does get the worst misa. Why? Because she doesn't do avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. The father already shechs animals on Shabbos. He's mechal Shabbos every Shabbos in the Beis Hamikdash. So therefore, for whatever reason, he should get a lesser misa. Even though Shabbos like a she never has this. She never goes on Hatzalah calls on Shabbos. So she has a very strong Shabbos. So maybe she should get the higher sreifa. Kamash malon. Okay. Next part of the brisa. Yochel afilu pnuya. This is unbelievable. I would think for a second that an unmarried woman who is mizana, and she's the daughter of a kohen, should get sreifa. As the Gemara, liznois ksiv. Liznois means that she's attached to another man, and she was mizana under him. She went with somebody else. This is a single woman. Why would she get sreifa? Says the Gemara, there is a shita of Rebbe Lazar. The Amar, Pani Abala Pnuya, 2 singles, Shaloi L'Shum Mishus, and they didn't have in mind to get married. Asa Zaina. She became a Zaina. What does that mean? That at this point she's usher to a Kohen. She's usher to a Kohen. So maybe she should get sreifa. No. That we already had yesterday. We're going to have it further on. That we have Xeris Shava, Avia, that in order to get sreifa, you have to have zikas habal. You have to be attached to a man and then be mizana. You're right. What she did is, I'm just pointing out a very dakis nekuda. She was mizana, and it says in the pasuk yiseichel is noise, so she should get misa. No, at this type of znus, it is znus enough to make her apostle for kuna, but not enough to kill her. Why? Because it says avia, and she has to be zika sabal. She needs zika sabal. She has to be married or engaged. This is the continuation of the brisa. Like I said, we're just going to go through the brisa piece by piece, geshmak stuff. Or perhaps the brisa says, maybe, I would think, that the Torah says, hold on a second. Here. It says in the brisa of via, in the pasuk it says of via. So the Gemara, the brisa thinks for a second that we're talking about that she's mizana esovia. She's with her father. Meaning that the only time she gets sreifa is if she's with her father. But if she's with any other man in the world, she wouldn't get sreifa. What would she get, Rabbi Isai? Chenek. Typically you get chenek. Maybe means to exclude everybody but her father. She's in Somia. Whoa. She's mizana with her father, and for that I need a pasuk that she gets sreifa? Any woman in the world that's mizana with her father, that's exactly what she gets. So why in the world would I have a special pasuk talking about a daughter of a Cohen? The daughter of Yisrael also gets reifa. We have this famous Gzer Shava, here it is, Heina, Zima, to teach us that there's an Isser. It's an interesting thing when we learn the sugya, it's mind-boggling. Where in the Torah does it say that you're not allowed to be with your own daughter? So you have to come up with all these Ervas Isho Bita, the daughter of your wife, you're not allowed to be with. Don't say your daughter, the daughter of your wife. And what's the Isser? What's the Einesh? Like a granddaughter. There's different psukim that we have to. I could learn a kavachomer. If you're over with your granddaughter, you get a chiyuv misa. So certainly with your own daughter, I can't. I don't know that. It's great logic, but you don't kill somebody with logic. So I need this pasuk, fine, whatever it is, heina, zima, and to teach me, zima teaches me, what's the einish? Sreifa. So why do I need a special pasuk to teach me that a daughter of a kohen also gets sreifa? I already know that. Every woman in the world who's with her father gets sreifa. Says the Gemara, Itzrich soket chamino kro la puki midirava. This pasuk comes to exclude Rava the midigalim rachon as kohen. Since there's a special pasuk that says this isur only by the daughter of a kohen, so v'loy bebas Yisrael, I would think that this doesn't apply. I would think that a person that's with his daughter and he's Yisrael is not b'sreifa. That's why I need a pasuk to tell me that everybody's b'sreifa. We continue with the brisa. Bas koyin. This is fascinating stuff. That she's married to a Yisrael. What does it do to her? I got to tell you this Gevaldik story from the Stipler. It says in the Gemara that you should not marry a Bas Kohen unless you're a Talmud Chacham. So a guy goes to the Stipler. A true one of, says, I'm not a Talmud Chacham, and they read me a shidduch to a Bas Kohen, what should I do? Says the Stipler, there's a bigger chance that you're a Talmud Chacham than she's a Bas Kohen. You're laughing, but it's hard. Donnie, not to insult you. The chances are that you're a Talmud Chacham more than you're a Kohen. That's what the Stipler said.
Maybe the Stipler knew something about that family. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know if they said the name.
I like the Stipler saying something about the family. Ruach HaKodesh.
A true Kohen is like the Kohen that I gave my. No, Rabbi Shomer, look.
Don't say his name.
I'm not going to say his name.
No, you sometimes do. Don't say his name.
Okay, so we won't even say the story. I'm just going to say Bekitzer.
Not his name.
I'm not going to know. Everybody knows the story, but I did a pidyon ben on myself when I was 13 years old. I went to the guy, knocked on his door. He took my money, slammed the door in my face. I didn't even come into. That's a true Kohen. That's Yichus. Tzvi Zivim. They have kas. I don't know what they have. They have yeah. Talmud Loimar Bas Ish Kohen. Afa Pi She'eino Kohenes. Oh, she has. As long as she's the daughter of a Kohen, and she doesn't have to be a Kohen right now. What does it mean that she's not a Kohen right now? Mishum de nasva lahu lahani labas koini. What? Because she's married to a Levi, a Yisrael, a mamzer, that makes her not the daughter, we undo the daughterness. You can't undo that. She's still a bas kohen. V'su mida kehanis the kohen ksiv. Does it say anywhere in the Torah that this bas kohen has to be married to a kohen in order to receive sreifa? It says she's the daughter of the kohen. That's it. Doesn't matter who she married. L'chayra. This is murdik. It's a very nice havamina, because it says she is. I'll give you an example. What does the media love the most? To chap a rabbi, the great rabbi of this great synagogue. He stole $100,000, and they put his picture on the front page, right? It doesn't get better than that. But let's say he went off the derech last year. He shaved his beard, all this and that. So they're not going to put him on the cover. That's it. It's done. She's not a bas kohen. She already married a mamzer last week. So you say, oh, this woman who married a mamzer last week, you know what she did? Oh, she was mizana. Who cares? It's old news. She already did worse. She already married a mamzer yesterday. I would think that kiseichel is nice. There's a chilul over here. She's defaming. What's the word? There's a good word here. She what?
Scandal?
Profane meaning. She's mechalel the kahuna today, but she wasn't. Why? Because she already did it yesterday. She was married to the wrong guy. I would think the whole problem is when she does it for the very first time today. She was mizana as a bas kohen. But in this case, given the she's already married to a nasan. She's already married to a mamzer. So the chilul already happened. Pasla. What happens if a daughter of a kohen gets married to a Yisrael? Is she allowed to eat truma? She's not allowed to. Let's say she gets divorced, her husband dies. Is she allowed to eat truma? Depends if she has a kid or not. Let's say she gets married to a mamzer, and the mamzer divorces her. Is she allowed to eat truma? No, never. Why? Because once once that's the halacha, that once she's with a mamzer, she becomes pasul forever. Even if she doesn't have children, she can never eat truma again. So, Memela, there's already a chilul. She was already nischala. The Levi Yisrael Nami. The Gemara says even more. Even if she married somebody that's kosher, a Levi, a Yisrael. She goes back after she gets divorced. She could go back and eat truma. But when she's married to him, lo yachla. In other words, she's not a kohen at that point, since she can't eat. I would think that at that point she doesn't get sreifa. That she gets sreifa in all situations. What do you like your Remeir? Remeir says that a bas kohen who marries, let's say, a mamzer, a pasul, she doesn't get sreifa. We hold she gets sreifa. She doesn't get sreifa. Why? Decided bas kohen she needs to do sreifa v'achla truma. A bas kohen who marries Yisrael and then she eats truma. Shelaima is a keren, beinim shelaima is a chomesh. Oh, so Rabbi Yisai, check this out. What is special about a bas kohen who married a Yisrael? What's different about her? So the first thing that we learned already is that a bas kohen who marries Yisrael and then she's mizana gets sreifa. There's another very, very important thing that we didn't speak about, and that is typically speaking when a kohen, when a Yisrael eats truma, a Yisrael, you as a Yisrael are not allowed to eat truma, and if you eat truma by mistake, what do? You pay keren, you pay the 5 apples that you ate or whatever, plus 25%. She does not have to pay a chomesh. Why? Because you're right. Right now, it's also for her to eat it. Why? Because she's married to a Yisrael. She can't eat it. But if she did eat it, she doesn't have to pay the 25%. Why? Because she's not a zar. She's not a stranger to truma. So right now, at this point, she can't eat truma. It's a chiddush, yeah? And finally, the third thing, I hope, is that if she is married to Yisrael, like Rabbi Yedidia Kramer's wife is a bas kohen, so Rabbi Yedidia Kramer could receive b'zman hazeh the matnas kuna, as you saw in the famous picture I showed 1,000 times, where I one time bought a sheep and we did a shchita here, and Be'ez Hashem is coming up literally within the year. Be'ez Hashem will have another one of those. Unbelievable! It's already 7 years ago. Like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, we shechted a sheep, and I gave him. We all had the darker hair then, and I gave him, check this out, this is beautiful. What's matnas kuna? Look at this, it's gewaldig. Zroya. l'chaim, the jaw, and keva. It's gewaldig, huh? 3 dish. So they gave that to me on a plate, and I gave it to Rabbi Didia, who's a Yisrael, but he's married to a Bas Kohen. Bas Kohen she still gets the matnos kuhuna, pellet. So the Sanya Bas Kohen shenis Yisrael v'achol trum mishalem sesakarim ve'eino mishalem sesachayim. She doesn't have to pay the 25%. Umisasa b'sreifa, and she dies if she's mizana with the very chomer dikah sreifa. Nisis lachem and absulim, and however says Rameir, if she marries mamzer mishalem sesakarim v'choimish, then she's like a zara. Then we treat her like a complete stranger to the kuna, and she does have to pay the 25%. Umisasa b'chenek, and we treat her like a zara. She doesn't get the sreifa. She gets the lower misa called chenek. Divri Rebbe Meir. Meir argues, and as we saw before, even if she's married to a mamzer, mishalmois keren v'loy choimesh, she still doesn't have to pay the 25%. We still consider it a kohen, a daughter of a kohen, and she gets sreifa. Rebbe Lezer Omer, and here comes the riddle. This is the final part of the brisa. I'm going to have a few pshatim here to explain a riddle. One of my favorite pshatim is to explain the riddle with one of the hardest riddles you'll ever see. It's a riddle to the riddle. But anyways, what's the riddle? Esavia b'sreifa v'eschamia b'skila. Her father gets reifa, the father-in-law gets skila. What is going on? Ma esavia v'eschamia. Ilim esavia me'avia. Perhaps it means that she was mizana with her father. V'eschamia me'chamia. And she was mizana with her father-in-law. And Memela, that's the pshat, that if she's mizana with her father, she gets reifa. If she's mizana with the father-in-law, she gets skila. Ma'ir bas kohen. So then again, once again, why are we talking about the daughter of a kohen? I feel about Yisrael nami bita b'sreifa v'kalos b'skila. Nothing changed there. A daughter-in-law, a Yisrael daughter-in-law is skila. A Yisrael daughter-in-law with a father is not a daughter-in-law. A daughter with a father is sreifa. So why are we talking about a bas kohen at all? Obviously, we're talking about something else. Ella esavia b'shusavia. We're talking about when a daughter is in the domain of the father, meaning she is an arusa. And what's the oynish of arusa? Sreifa. Veschamia. But when she's married, we downgrade it. We said it's less. Remember, an arusa did 3 bad things. She's over and ben adam chaveroi, ben adam lamakoim, and ben adam la'atzmoi. Yeah. Veschamia b'shus chamia. Sorry. Yeah. So she would be in Nesua, we downgraded to skila. Kiman, ikira banon hamri Nesua, yotzes l'sreifa v'loy arusa. According to Chacham, so check this out. This is gewaldig. This will mamish make the entire sugya perfect. First of all, I just want to throw this in because wherever it comes up, typically speaking, a regular Yisraelis, a Bas Yisrael, who's married, who's an arusa, and she's mizana, what does she get? She gets skila. If she's married, she gets chenek. That's a regular case. Okay, now, we're talking about the daughter of a kohen. We have all these shitas. Check this out, it's gewaldik. Rabbanan say, what's the worst misa you get? Skila. What's the worst? Skila. And what's worse? Arusa and Nesua? Arusa, therefore skila fits right in. Reb Shimon says the worst is sreifa. Therefore, everybody gets sreifa. Rabbi Shmuel says arusa gets sreifa, and an Nesua gets chenek. And now we have Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer just says that an Nesua gets skila. That doesn't line up with anybody. Take a look. Nobody says that a married woman gets skila. Sreifa lines up fine with Reb Shimon and Rabbi Shmuel. On the left side. Left side lines up. So if we do this, who does Rabbi Eliezer go according to? It can't be Rabbanan. It doesn't line up. In fact, it's the exact opposite of Rabbanan. Rabbanan say Arusa gets skila, not an Nesua gets skila, and Rabbanan say that an Nesua gets reifa, not an Arusa. So one of the pshatim in the Gemara is going to be, let's flip Rabbi Eliezer. Let's just flip him, and then we're okay. We'll say that Arusa gets skila and Nesua gets reifa, and then it lines up perfectly with the Rabbanan. But let's just see Rabbanan now. Who does it line up with, Rabbi Isai? Come on. Rabbi Eliezer on the bottom. Rabbi Eliezer on the bottom who says an Nesua gets skila and an Arusa gets reifa does not line up with the 3 shittas above him, and that's a big problem. And all the way, let me just tell you, all the way at the end of the Gemara is going to say that it does go according to this. It lines up with this. And the Gemara starts talking about, what do I need to know this? It's not going to get to Bisman Hazeh. We don't have Mrs. Bezin, L'Maisa Mashiach, the whole thing. Okay. That's on Amud Beis. Typically speaking, a regular woman should get what does a regular woman get that's married as Mizana? Chenek. And the Torah upgrades a Bas Kohen to Sreifa. Nesua. A married woman, Bas Kohen, Sreifa. V'loy Arusa. And the Arusa is not upgraded, remains at Skila because that's what the Torah says, by a regular woman. Mela, yes, let me just go back to the regular woman for a second. Arusa regular Yisrael gets Skila. So Mela, if I say this, we're not going anywhere. Arusa remains Skila. There's nowhere to go from there. It's the top of the top. It's the worst Misa. Anyway, so Rebbe Lezer on the bottom cannot line up with the Rabbanan on top. Ikir Reb Shimon, let's just look at this. Let's go downwards. Oh, Sreifa and Sreifa does not line up with the Rebbe Lezer that says Skila and Sreifa. Okay? Ikir Reb Shimon, Ha'omar Achaz Arusa V'Achaz Nesua, both of them are B'Sreifa. Vikir Reb Shmuel, Ha'omar Arusa Yotzes L'Sreifa, Derech Klal, Arusa is what? Skila. And we upgrade a Bas Kohen to Sreifa because he holds Sreifa is worse than Skila according to Rabbi Shmuel. Right? Rabbi Shmuel is going to have to hold like Reb Shimon, that the worst of the worst is Sreifa. I mean, I upgrade her to Sreifa. V'loy Nesua. And now as Chamil Cheneku, if she's married, Chamia, what does Chamia mean? She's married, she gets Chenek. So look, Rabbi Shmuel, the second from last on the bottom, does not line up with Rebbe Lezer because he says Chenek and he says Skila. Rebbe Lezer cannot be going according to him. This and this don't line up. Oh, Rabbi Isai says Ravin in the name of Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina that it goes like Rabbanan. Look at this for a second, please. Rabbanan say that if you're married, you get Sreifa, and if you're Arusa, you get Skila. What is the most complicated way in the world to say those words? Riddle. How do you say these words? But in the most complicated way ever, instead of saying Nesua is Sreifa, Arusa is Skila, let me tell you how you do it. You go like this. This is Givaldik. Me'avia is Sreifa, meaning this is the center, this is the middle. If a woman is mizana with her father, she gets Sreifa. What's less than Sreifa? Lamata me'avia, below that, one step below, is Chenek. Chenek is less than Sreifa. So who gets Chenek? Who's Lamata? A woman who's married and she's a Israelis, and she's mizana, she gets Chenek. And what's above? What's above? What's worse than Sreifa? Skila. Who gets Skila? An engaged woman. A Bas Yisrael's Mizana gets Skila. Oh. So we got that. We have the flat line. We got the middle, the Sreifa. There's below the Sreifa, which is Chenek. There's above a Sreifa, that's Skila. Oh. So now that we know that, that's step number one to the most complicated way to say the simple line. This is how I want to explain it. Rabbanan say that an Arusa gets Skila, and talking about a Bas Kohen here, right? Here, you want to see Rabbanan again? An Asur gets Sreifa, and an Arusa gets Skila. That's Rabbanan. So, Lemaisa, that's who we're going according to. This is what we're trying to say. Anybody that's below the Misas Aviyah. What's the Misas Aviyah? Sreifa, the middle line. What happens to a person, a woman who's mizana with her father, she gets Sreifa. So what's below that? A woman who's married and she's a Bas Yisrael, she gets less than Sreifa, she gets Chenek. Hacha. But if she's a Bas Kohen, check this out, and I'm going to go to the next chart. Oh. If I change everything and I go to a Kohen, then she's not going to get Chenek, she's going to get Sreifa, if she's a married woman. And if she's Arusa, she stays by Skila. You hear what's going on here? Instead of saying that a Bas Kohen who's a Arusa gets Skila, and a Nesua Bas Kohen gets Sreifa, I'm saying if it's lemata from one that's mizana with her father, that's Sreifa, which gets chenek, you change it from chenek to Sreifa. And if it's above this woman who's mizana with her father, which is skila, it remains skila. Yeah? Nothing happened there. It's just to say two simple words that an arusa gets skila and a nesua gets Sreifa. I said the most complicated thing. When she's a bas kohen, she gets Sreifa. Sorry. But if she's in a nesua bas Yisrael b'chenek kacha b'misas avia b'Sreifa, kol she lemala b'misas avia, above that, which is Sreifa, or maini, above the misas avia, when you're with your father, you get Sreifa. Maini arusa bas Yisrael. What's above that? An engaged bas Yisrael who's mizana, the ilo arusa bas Yisrael ba'alma b'skila hacha. Well, if she's a bas kohen, b'misas chamia, b'skila, nothing changes. In that part, nothing changes because you can't get worse than skila. Maskula Rabbi Yirmiyah, midi lamala lamata katani. It's a very serious, beautiful, lumdish, not lumdish, very sharp way of saying a very simple thing. But unfortunately, it doesn't fit into the words. It doesn't mention anything about above and under, the under 500, above 500. It doesn't say anything about that. Elam Rabbi Yirmiyah. Okay, next pshat. Daf Yomi Amud Beis. Lo ilam ki Rabbi Shmuel. I'm out. I want to get over here. Okay. I want to go with this. Rabbi Elazar on the bottom, who says that a Nusua gets skila and a Rusa gets Sreifa, goes like Rabbi Shmuel that says that a Rusa gets Sreifa and a Nusua gets chenek. But we have a problem. Once it's chenek, once it's skila. So what I'm going to do is Vachikamar Esavia. What is the word? It's a riddle, right? It says Esavia be skila be. So what does it mean? Esavia when she is engaged b'sreifa. Esavia b'sreifa. Yeah. Esavia b'sreifa. Go back. Esavia b'sreifa. So what does it mean? Esavia means when she's engaged, she wasn't mizana with her father. It's just her current status. Esavia. Birshusavia b'sreifa. Her status is that she's engaged. Okay, b'sreifa. That makes sense. Now we're changing it. Veschamia, what does chamia mean? It's not status now. Now, who was she mizana with? With her father-in-law. Veschamia, mechamia, and then she gets skila. It could line up with Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel wasn't talking about the mizana with her father-in-law. Rabbi Shmuel was talking about stam, mizana with the person. The chala, the mechanik. Look, it fits in. Now Rabbi Elazar is masking that's mechanik. Just in a situation when she's mizana with her father-in-law, we're going to change it to skila. Amarava, maishna or idi vidi mamish. How can you change the father and the father-in-law? You're saying father means status. Father-in-law means she was mizana with. It doesn't make sense. Either both of them she was mizana with them, or both of them are statuses. You can't say one is a status and one is his nus. Either she be mizana with both, with the father himself, or either rishus, or it's a status. She's in the rishus of the father and she's in the rishus of the father-in-law. I got to go back over here. We're trying to line up skila and sreifa to sreifa and sreifa. So, Rabbi Elazar goes exactly like Reb Shimon, that what? Because Rabbi Elazar nesua karusa, and a married woman is like an engaged woman. Ma rusa chadarga maskinala. We go, so let's go real quickly back over here. B'derech klal, Yisraelis, who's mizana, and she's married, she gets chenek. So let's go up one level above that to sreifa. And arusa, we're stuck. There's nowhere to go. Arusa, she's already at the top. Okay? Arusa, hold on. So we want to line up with the Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon says Sreifa and Sreifa. Says Reb Elazar, I go like him, but I don't go like him. I go like him, then I'm going to go up one darga. Chad darga miskila. Miskila l'Sreifa. Sorry. So yeah, it goes up one darga. Why? Because I go like Reb Shimon. It goes like Reb Shimon that Sreifa is the most chomer. So I'm going up from skila. I'm going to the worst from skila l'Sreifa. Af nesuach chadarga maskinala mechenek. I go from chenek to skila. I go from number 3 on the list to number 2 on the list. I go up 1 to skila. Great. Let's just do the sponsors. Turning of the Dav Shvat. Innovations also in honor of Elchanan Pressman officials, Chusva Kiv Simcha Ben Fega, and a Shidduch for Refuah Ben Zchut. And thank you to Rebbe Stefansky. Adar Global, experts in international financial services, and anonymous. L'schus Refuah Atino Gecheskel Yedid Ben Nechama Shendel Yishakayach. Okay. Zok the Gemara. What in the world is going on here? Look, we want to line up Rebbe Lezer with Rebbe Shimon. What does Rebbe Shimon say? Both of them are Sreifa. How could you say that Rebbe Lezer lines up with Rebbe Shimon? If you line up with Rebbe Shimon, so you have to say both are Sreifa. How could you say one is Skila? What did I just do here? Why is it backwards? Oh, that's why it's backwards. Yeah, sorry. It's backwards on purpose. Okay, this one. Sorry. Here, Reb Shimon. How it doesn't line up well. So says the Gemara. In other words, there's no source in the Torah. Reb Shimon has sources, and both of them are Sreifa. You can't say, oh, Reb Lezer holds this one is Skila. It doesn't make sense. He goes up. Like who? Where? Where did he? Where? Reb Shimon has sources in the Torah. Where did Reb Lezer get his source?
He got his source. He holds Sreifa is the most common, just like.
But you can't go up one by with logic. I want to go up one. I want to go up one.
No, you see that you do go up one.
Okay, but it's weak. It's weak. The Gemara says it's weak. If you're going to go with Reb Shimon, you have to go completely with Reb Shimon. Say both of them are Sreifa. You can't use logic here.
Why does he have to go like anyone? Why can't he? That's a sheet. Why does he have to go like someone over there?
Trying to understand what Rabbi Lezer said. Rabbi Lezer said.
No. Yeah, he could go by himself, but we just want to understand what did he say? I just want to know his words, what he said, because he was a riddle. I have no idea what he said. Okay. He says, Avia b'sreifa, chamia b'skila. What is he saying? Is he saying, does he line up with Rabbanan? Does he line up with Shimon? Like, who does he line up with? Did he say his own thing? I don't know. El Omer Vina lo'ilam k'Rabbanan. It's going to go like Rabbanan, and check this out. They're opposites right now. Nesua Sreifa and Arusa Skila, and he says Nesua Skila and Arusa Sreifa. So all you need to do is, to make it all line up, is switch them around. And Memelo, Rebbe Lezer is mamish like Rabbanan here. Let's just go up. Rebbe Lezer is like Rabbanan. The bottom is like the top. Mamish, everything lines up, because we just did an epoch. We did a switcheroo. And so Avia b'skila v'eschamia b'sreifa. In other words, when she's Avia, when she's in the status, the domain of her father, she gets skila, and when she's in the domain of her father-in-law, she's married, she gets reifa. So why do you have to go like this? Just say, an arusa gets skila, and a nesu gets reifa. Why do you have to talk about a father and a... You know why? You're right. It's weird to talk like that, but don't forget, we were talking the entire time about this pasuk. We're talking about Esovia the whole time. So he just threw it, he decided to talk like that. Okay. Omer Rav Nachman, Omer Rav Ravo, Omer Rav. Halacha kedeshalach rovim mishmei de Reb Yosef Birevach. The halacha is like this. That we're going with Rabbanan. Rebbe Lezer lines up with Rabbanan. In other words, if you remember, this was it. The most complicated way to say the simplest words, that an arusa gets skila and an asua gets reifa. How do I say it? There's a middle line, and if you're above the line and below the line, and this and that. Okay. So ask the Gemara, what point is there to talk about these things now? We don't have Mrs. Bezdin. So you're going to tell me the halacha is when Mashiach comes and a woman was mizana, you should know that if she's a baskaya and she gets, and she's a arusa, she gets skila. And if she's in a surah, she gets this. But that's for when Mashiach comes. Why isn't it again for today? So what? That's it? We're not going to learn chulin anymore? We're not going to learn any kachim because we don't have Yisam Mikdash? Chulin we will learn. Lo listening. There's a concept of learning Torah and get tzachar. You learn Torah, so over here also we'll learn Torah and get tzachar. So first of all, Taisa says a beautiful thing. He brings a Reb Chaim. He says, when you have two things going against you, so he says, beautiful. Of course we're going to learn kachim, because there's going to be Beis HaMikdash. I need to know today how to shecht and what to do. But you know what I can't do? I can't talk about a woman who's going to be mizana after Mashiach comes. You know why? Because nobody's going to be mizana then. The Mashiach is coming. Why would somebody do an Isser then? I'm going to talk about if somebody's going to do an Isser after Mashiach comes. Why would I even think about that?
After Mashiach, it's going to be a different world.
No, it's the same thing. Everything's going to go. But when you see Mashiach, you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how can you be chayta? Anyways, if somebody does it, we'll worry about it. Fine. So another thing is, and the other point is, we don't know what Rebbe Lezer said. So why are you so concerned about Rebbe Lezer says for when Mashiach comes? When Mashiach comes, we'll ask Rebbe Lezer, says Rashi. What are you guessing what Rebbe Lezer says? It's only a good guess for when Mashiach comes. Because we don't have Dalet Mises Bezdin today. I need to know what Rebbe Lezer said about Dalet Mises Bezdin. When does Dalet Mises Bezdin? Mashiach comes, ask him. He'll be there, you'll ask him what he meant. That's that. The other nikuda is, the Chofetz Chaim says, Mefurish in Torah R, he says that, what does it mean, Drosh v'kabel schar? That if you learn this Gemara, it's as if you're Mekayim this thing. You're Mekayim the Karbanis. You learn about Karbanis, Mekayim Karbanis. So, like last week I said, as a joke, I said, how do we should make a thing, people do pidyon pedachamar. They buy a donkey, this, that, a firstborn, and everybody pays $1. So I said, we should do like a Mises Bezdin. The mitzvah, there's a mitzvah to kill. Oh, here it is. If we learn the halachas of Mises Bezdin, we're mekayim that special mitzvah of killing somebody. Oh, and for that, and Rabbi Isai, I forgot to show this yesterday. Here we go.
Practical halacha hotline. Hello.
Rabbi, I have a question about Mises Bezdin.
With God's help, the Mashiach will come soon, and you will get answers for that. I apologize. I have to continue to the next caller. Call Tuv. Practical halacha hotline. Hello.
Oh, hi, it's me again, asking about Mises Bezdin. I know it's not practical right now, but the Gemara says, Drosh v'kabel schar. That's why I'm asking.
That is true. But you've reached the practical halacha hotline, not the line for Drosh v'kabel schar. We only answer practical questions here. Goodbye. Practical halacha hotline. Hello.
Look, I gave a ring to a woman and told her that I would only be Mekadosh her if the explanation in the Mishnah is according to Rabbanan.
What? Is this a true story?
Like Reb Eli likes to say, it's a ma'aseh shekemat haya.
Givaldi. Okay, shkoyach. My Rabbi Shmuel. So we have an easy Gemara here. We have to do it quickly. My Rabbi Shmuel, the Sanya. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Hilchasa lamali. Why do I need the halacha? Sugis shmaita halacha gamar. All we wanted to know, we don't want to know halacha. What I try to figure out, what did Rabbi Eliezer say? All I wanted to know is what his words were. What is the pshat in the riddle? Not what the halacha is. Says Gemara, my Rabbi Shmuel. Who's this Rabbi Shmuel? The sheet is Rabbi Shmuel. Let's just show again. This is Rabbi Shmuel, right? That Nesua gets chenek and Arusa gets sreifa. My Rabbi Shmuel, where do we see this b'chlal? Nesanya ubas ish koyin kisei cheliznois. Benaira vihi arusa akosim dar. We're talking about an engaged woman. Meichet eisa. Atoim benaira vi arusa yene feeling nesua. It doesn't say anywhere in the pasuk what her status is. Arusa or nesua. Tamaloimer isha sheyinaf es eshes re'eu mois yumas hanoyaf hanoyafes. Every single time in the Torah, when the Torah says miso and it doesn't say what it is it? Chenek. You should have got chenek. And the Torah says, you know what? But even a Bas Yisrael gets skila, ubas koyin besreifa. And the Bas koyin gets reifa. Makish hoitzi hakosav is Bas Yisrael is skila arusa v'lo nesua. When we're talking about a Bas Yisrael, we're talking about an engaged woman, v'lo nesua, and not a married woman. This is called a binyanav. We learn from the Bas Yisrael, just like over there, it's talking about Arusa, so to Bas Koyin is talking about Arusa. Next. The Edom Zomimim and the Noyef get Vasisim like Kashazam. Ask the Gemara a simple question. The Noyef didn't want to do something to this woman. He was just over in Aveira. What does it mean? Vasisim loy Kashazamam. There should be you should give him what he wanted to do. Elo no. The Pshat is Whatever the Edom wanted to do to her, They don't get that misa. They don't get the sreifa. They get whatever they wanted to do to the noyef and not to the noyef. That's why. What he wanted to do to his brother, and not what they wanted to do to her. They wanted to kill her with sreifa. They don't get sreifa. Divrei Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Kiva Omer achas arutza v'achas nesua yotza l'sreifa. Yotzas l'sreifa. So Rabbi Kiva says both, an arusa and an nesua both get sreifa. Yochal afilu pnuya. I would have a havamina that even an unmarried woman gets sreifa. Nemer kanovia v'nemer la'alonovia. We saw this already. No, it can't be for an unmarried woman. It has to be someone who's married. Just like the first pasuk is talking about znusim zikas abal. Afkan znusim zikas abal. Omalei Rishmal imala alon naro v'hiarusa. We're talking about a 12-year-old and she's engaged. Afkan by the bas kohen also naro v'hiarusa. Maybe it should be only a 12-year-old between 12 and 12 and a half. Meichetesa regular one v'hiarusa and not a nesur. Omalei Rebbe Kiva yishmol achi bas ubas anidorish. I have an extra vav. For this extra vav, we have to kill her with a terrible death of burning hot lead down her throat. Tomorrow we're going to see it's noyavayim. Open up her mouth, or you figure out a way where the person is like choking, so they open up their mouth, and that second you throw in this hot lead down her stomach, and the whole stomach burns. Noyavayim. If you learn from this, a married woman, learn from this also unmarried. And if you want to exclude a unmarried woman, to take out the married. I have two things. I have Xerishava to exclude the via means only when the zikas habal and not unmarried. And the extra vav comes to include the married woman. You know what? We'll stop right over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.